Franz Villa was taken from the Jackson Heights police station where he'd spent the last 24 hours to Manhattan Criminal Court, charged with kidnapping, unlawful imprisonment, and a criminal sex act on a 5-year-old. He's charged in Manhattan because that's where police say it happened, his East 97th Street apartment, which cops searched last night. When Villa and the 5-year-old were found in Jackson Heights yesterday afternoon after 3 hours of an intense search for them through the neighborhood, police now believe they were returning from Manhattan. Her mother had allowed Villa to take the little girl from a supermarket that morning to a park nearby since she wanted to go. This neighbor watched as the child seemed to leave her mother willingly with Villa. She seemed to like him, he says. She let him hold her hand. We spoke with the little girl's mother tonight, who told us Villa was actually a trusted friend who she first met a year ago, not a month ago, and that he had spent time with her and her daughter at their home. She says she thought they'd be back in half an hour or so, never imagining that this man, who himself is a grandfather, would harm her child.
Show your face! Show your face, please, with sugar on top!
Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all know my slogan. I don't know it all, but I know what I've been through. Now, before we get into this video, please make sure you head on down to Instagram and follow us on our official Instagram page at Hookah Anonymous _. Alright, we're able to be a little more explicit, a little more uncensored, and share content freely without running the risk of having our channel terminated. So, once again, make sure you head on down to Instagram and follow us on our official Instagram page at Hookah Anonymous _. Alright, now let's get into what you guys came here to see. Now, we got a real brief, crazy story for y'all today. And this time, we're headed to New York, Jackson Heights, Queens to be exact, where a 5-year-old girl was reported missing after she was kidnapped and sexually abused by a 75-year-old man. How was she kidnapped, you may ask? How did a 75-year-old man manage to kidnap a 5-year-old girl, you ask? Well, stay tuned, because the answer is going to trip you guys out, and I hope that a valuable lesson is learned after this video ends and y'all realize just how crazy this world actually is. So if you're not subscribed already, take this time to do so now. Hit that like button and click the bell so you're notified every time we upload new videos, so we could bring awareness to stories just like this to people all over the world. Without further ado, let's get straight into it. Now, 75-year-old Franz Villa from Queens, New York was hit with a couple of charges after kidnapping a 5-year-old girl and accused of sexually abusing her. Reports say that everything began 9 a.m. on Tuesday, August 22nd, 2023 at the Foodtown supermarket on 7610th, 37th Avenue. Reports say that the 5-year-old girl asked her mother to go to the park, in which her mother refused initially, but then allowed the 5-year-old girl to go with a man she just recently met. By recently, I mean that the mother had just met the man almost a year ago after becoming familiar with him from riding the bus together. She claimed the elderly man had also spent time at their house before, which made her feel comfortable letting the daughter go with him to the park. After allowing the daughter to go with the man, time went by and the mother couldn't get a hold of the elderly man. She would find herself calling the cops as hours went by and she didn't receive any word from Franz or her daughter. Police arrived on the scene and began searching all surrounding areas, encouraging people to come forward if they had any information on the child's whereabouts or if they happened to see a younger girl with the elderly man. They used police canine dogs and helicopters to assist with their search. Finally, at almost 8 hours searching for the little girl, around 4:30 p.m., 3 individuals would spot the 5-year-old with the elderly man standing by the Roosevelt Avenue subway station. Police now believe that Villa and the child were returning from Manhattan, where he lives in an apartment on East 97th Street. Franz Villa was quickly arrested and taken into custody, where he was questioned overnight. Upon questioning and brief investigation, police discovered that the 75-year-old man had no prior cases or active cases and is not located on the New York State sex offender list. However, for his actions against a child, he will be hit with a slew of charges including kidnapping, criminal sex acts, unlawful imprisonment, and acting in manner to acquire a child by the 115 precinct. After being arraigned, Franz was let go, and as he left the 115 precinct on Wednesday, he told reporters, quote, This is a police stunt. This is a police stunt. The public should have the right to learn. I want a full interview. Now, the Queens District Attorney said the child's mother would not face charges, but the investigation is ongoing. The 30-year-old mother of the 5-year-old was originally charged with endangering the welfare of a child. However, the Queens District Attorney's office is declining to prosecute her pending further investigation for unknown reasons. And this is interesting because as the story would unfold and people learned of what happened, automatically people will blame the mother of even allowing her daughter to go to a park with a male stranger unsupervised. And even though the little girl was returned, she is now in custody of her father and not the mother. And automatically, if you ask me, I would say that the mother deserves to be prosecuted for the negligence of a child. It was a man that she had just met about a year ago, and she trusted him to take her child to the park. I don't know too many parents that are that generous, especially with daughters going into the care of another man unsupervised, a man that you barely know at that. What made her think that that was okay? Then they said that the man lived in Manhattan and the woman lived in Jackson Heights, Queens. So something isn't adding up, because what are the odds that he was in Queens at a food market, first of all the way in Queens, knowing that he lives in Manhattan? Do you know how much supermarkets you have to pass in Manhattan before you actually get to Queens? You got Trader Joe's, Whole Foods, Target, all type of stores that you could shop at, but no, he wanted to come to Queens for whatever reason, and coincidentally bump into this woman and her daughter in the supermarket. So why did he feel the need to go shop all the way in Queens? Something isn't adding up. I don't know whether she's lying or this is the story that the elderly man gave them. So now we learned that he has an apartment in the city. If they was going for hours, where exactly did he take the little girl for all them hours? Because they weren't standing by the subway for all them hours. And we have to be careful and aware of the mother as well, because someone on social media made a very good point where I seen someone mention that maybe the mother sold the child to him for a small amount of time, and when he didn't bring her back in time, she panicked and called the cops, which is also possible. Some of the people these days will do anything for money, and that's the vibe I'm getting with this one, because something just isn't making sense. And as you pay attention, when he was released, the elderly man said that this was a, quote, police stunt. Right? I don't know if he's referring to the police or the woman who put these claims against him. Maybe she knew what was going on, and when things got heated, she tried to act like she didn't. Who knows? But it's very bold for a man of 75 years old to feel comfortable just taking the child all the way to the city, because they believed that he took her to the city, and when they caught them, they was on their way back. So it's very bold for him to take her all the way to the city and come back hours later and, then get arrested and not really know what's going on. Unless he do know what's going on and he just playing crazy. Who knows, man? But it's a lot going on outside. Watch who y'all have around y'all children. Watch who you give your children to. And this should just be common sense. But as y'all could see, common sense just isn't too common. Now, this little girl got to put up with, being sexually abused for the rest of her life. And she's only 5 years old. So y'all jump in the comments. Let me know how y'all feel about this, man. It was a quick one. But like I said, a lesson learned. Watch who you give your children to. Watch who you have around your children. You never know the intentions of people. This man's a 75-year-old man, and who would think that he would do something like this? But then again, he was pretty much a stranger to her. So y'all jump in the comments. Let me know how you feel. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'm going to keep on dropping. I'm out.